And we're recording.
Yay.
Yay. Well, today I have a very dear friend. We've been friends for a long time. My friend Lisa.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to What the Hell Are We Calling This Damn Podcast? Because
Yeah.
I still haven't come up with a name yet. Maybe we'll figure that out today. I don't know.
I saw some of the options. I listened to a few, and I was like, no. You can do better.
I think so. But, I mean, this What the Hell Are We Calling This Damn Podcast
Yeah.
is kind of sticking a little bit. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We've been friends for, 30-something years.
I know.
Let's see, our boys are going to be 30 next year.
And we definitely knew each other before that.
So at least 31? Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
a long time.
I mean, we were born, we met when we were 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
We age backwards.
Yeah. Yes. What's that? Benjamin Button?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a cool movie.
Yeah. I thought I used to have progeria. You know what that is? Where people age and look really old when they're young.
Are you serious? You thought that?
Until I got Botox, and then I was like, okay, I'm
God,
good.
I love Botox.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my friend that does that on here, too. The benefits of that.
Yes.
To start young.
Yeah.
Which I didn't
Don't do that, because then Bailey's already asking me when she can go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, Haley has the lip fillers, and she was addicted. So that
I
was her
haven't done
birthday.
that yet.
Yeah. You need to do it. It's fun. I love it.
Well, we'll talk about that later, but
Yes.
more is always better for me, so I'd end up with, lips that are the size of my face.
Oh, stop. She wouldn't do that to you.
More is better in all areas of my life.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. Well, we have children's names of Cameron and Bailey, and then Cameron and Haley, which are my two. And
Not on purpose.
No.
No?
Nope. Our sons play baseball together. Our girls grew up and played together, and they still keep in contact. I mean, we've done a lot
Yeah.
throughout the years. Pretty much got divorced at the same time.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And boy, did we live it up.
Yeah.
Well,
It was short.
it was a short-lived, but I think we crammed in 20 years within 2 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
It's
a
a
lot
blur.
of fun. A little bit.
It's a blur.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whew.
Yeah. So leading into that,
Yeah.
yeah, a little preface of that. So it's a little touchy subject for some people, Lisa. We're going to talk about recovery. And there was probably 9 years that we kind of lost touch of each other. We kind of went on different paths. And I went back to school. You moved away for work. And we didn't communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Until recently. And then we kind of rekindled our friendship. And we still have different, paths that we're leading. But
Yeah. We're still the same humans, though. We were still
Absolutely.
the same 20-year-olds, It's just, I had some stuff I had to take care of.
well,
you know.
and so I did too.
I was mad at everybody else because they didn't have to take care of their shit. I
Well,
had to take care of mine.
And it's one of those things that it sucks, being an adult and realizing, I've got humans that are looking up to me, and I need to get my shit straight. And maybe this isn't the right environment that I need to get my shit straight in. And so I knew deep down that you needed to move.
Right.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I did. There was a lot of things that exploded right before you left, and I reached out. I mean, I know your mom passing away and having to deal with her estate. Everything, that you were dealing with was a lot.
It was.
Was a lot. So I guess my question to you is, when you moved and you decided to become sober, how did you do it? How'd you do it? What made you want to do it?
Oh, that's a great question. I think I try to use this analogy of when people say, oh, they drink too much or they have a substance abuse problem, or I think people have different perceptions of what that looks like, right? So some people view someone who has substance issues, alcohol issues as they look pretty put together on the outside, so it can't be that bad. And so what I've always tried to use is the analogy of like, I have a severe fear of feelings that are uncomfortable. My whole life. Like, sadness is overwhelming. Fear is overwhelming. And it goes way, way back. Like, I was destined to where I am right now, but it all goes back to some of the things that as kids that we deal with that maybe are left unaddressed, the coping mechanisms as kids that we had that don't serve a purpose. You can't cope that way as an adult. So as a kid, you know, I had a pretty rough
you did.
childhood.
Yeah, you did.
And so, and it's fascinating because I don't actually ever remember being a kid. So I don't remember grade school. I don't remember middle school. Couldn't tell you the name of one teacher. Couldn't tell you what Christmas looked like. I just, it's just a part of my life that kind of is tucked away in another little part of my brain.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of okay with it now, but it took me a long time to be okay with that. So as a kid, you have different ways. You either disassociate yourself from your life, and, you know, as a child, that's how you deal with things. But those coping mechanisms, when you get introduced to like alcohol or chemicals, it unlocks a part of like where, oh my God, I feel free, I feel good, I don't have any worries.
Right. Until the next day, though, right?
Yeah, until the next day. Until the next day. Yeah. So for, you know, younger in life, I was able to kind of toe the line of like, I'm going to work and be a professional, but I still got all this undercurrent of stuff that I didn't know how to deal with. And so the only time I felt relief from myself, because it's about relief from yourself, was if I was under the influence. And I had a great time. We had a lot of great times.
Yeah, we did.
Tons of great times.
Yeah, yeah.
But the problem was, I didn't have my next morning looked different than maybe your next morning. So my next morning, I'd wake up with extreme sadness, extreme loathing, self-hatred. I call it like the ping pong match in your brain, which is like over-analyzing, over-confusing yourself in terms of like, who am I? What's my life? When am I ever going to be happy? And so, like, I didn't recover the next day the way other people recovered. I recovered the next day by waking up and hating myself, then saying, well, I'm not going to do that again. And then 2 days later, I'm right back at it again. And so you may say, well, then you just drank too much. Like, you were, you know, weekend warrior. Well, my weekend warrior became, well, only on Thursdays, not Mondays. You know what I mean? Or only on Tuesdays, but only for happy hour. And after a while, that just, you can't control yourself anymore. And so what happened? I think what happened was, one, I fell in love with someone who had to stop that life, and madly in love with this human, and focused on taking care of him because he had the problem.
Right.
And all the while I did. And so he went on his journey and found the help he needed. And I was like, I'm not as bad as that person. You know, I'm not getting DUIs, or I'm not, I haven't lost my job. My kids aren't in the welfare system. Like, I'm a professional.
Would you say like functioning, functioning
like
alcoholic?
On the outside, like I would come home after happy hour when I was married before, and like, you sit in the driveway and you're like, you shake it off. Like, okay, now I'm a mom. You know what I mean? Like, now I need to assume this role. And after a while, you just get really exhausted. And so it got to the point where I was thinking about, how can I die and it look like an accident?
Dang, girl, I didn't know that.
No. And well, because you live in your prison is in your head. So my prison was in the inside of my head. And I just was like, I didn't think it had anything to do with drugs or alcohol. And quite frankly, it doesn't. That's the irony of it all. Is people think
like putting a Band-Aid.
Yeah,
it's
people
like putting
think,
a Band-Aid.
well, just stop drinking and you're going to be great. And in reality, that's just a symptom of a much bigger issue. Right. So, 9+ years ago, I was like, all right, I'm going to go hear what these people have to say. I'm going to listen. And I just saw people filled with a lot of joy and hope and happiness and peace and contentment. And you want to talk about bad lives. I thought I had it bad. A lot of these people have had 10 times more horror stories than...
Yeah, but do you feel, though, that you can't really... One person's happiness might be one person's sorrow, and like gauging where your traumatic situation as a child growing up. I mean, can you really compare?
No, you
it's
can't.
like you can't, because it's still making you miserable, just like it made them miserable, right?
Well, there is no, and that's the thing. I'm like, if you start benchmarking yourselves against other people's trauma, which I hate to say it, like this whole
no, but it was. I know your stories from as a kid. And it was, you had a lot of trauma. You had to be in survival mode.
But the thing is, like, some people who have trauma end up being just fine, and then some people with trauma find relief in alcohol and drugs. That's the only difference. Some people find relief through men, or gambling, or
like shopping too much.
Shopping. Yeah. Some people just work out and become like, crazy. But I guess what I'm saying is, I just unfortunately chose another different path that kind of physically put a damper on my livelihood. So, but I think everybody has trauma. It's just, what is your source of relief? Some people go to church and they're great. Some people go to a therapist and they're great. Mine just, unfortunately, my relief was found in a bottle. Yeah,
but you still were able to function. And I think that's what's hard for some people to understand, is that she kept a job, and you had a really damn good job, and then you got another really damn good job, and it's you still mentally, you knew you still had to survive.
Right.
So I guess kind of elaborate a little bit with that was it, I mean, the back of your head, you knew you had to get up and go to work, right?
Right.
So,
because failure's not an option.
Right.
Who am I going to call? Like, I couldn't call mom and be like, Mom, I can't pay my mortgage. Can you give me a couple extra bucks?
Right.
I've been on my own since I was 15.
Do you feel that if you had not quit 9 years ago, that you would be sitting here with me today?
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. And I think for me, I didn't walk in saying, please help me stop drinking. I walked in saying, can I be a better person? Because what was happening is, I wasn't showing up for my kids. My mom was in a nursing home and I didn't want to go see her. I was hungover. I just said, I want to learn how to, like, be able to still go party and just be a better human being. I didn't realize that, like, you have to put one down to be able to have the other. Right. And I was like, can you just help me learn how to party successfully and not have it wreck my entire life? That would be great, And then I realized,
if you find that out, you need to write a book, because I think you would be a gajillionaire on that one.
How can you, like, party like a rock star and not feel like your life is falling apart around you? Like, I think there are some people that can do that, like, for real.
Yeah.
I envy them, but that's just not me. And so when I separated myself from that, and you start waking up with, like, a clear head and a clear perspective, there's still a ton of work to do, but you don't have that variable that repeated cycle. I call it, like, the hamster wheel that you keep hopping on and over and over. And it gets worse and worse and worse over time.
Right.
What looked like fun to me 25 years ago, that was just pre-gaming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I was there for a lot of it. Yes, I remember.
Well, it's socially acceptable.
Right.
I mean,
everything. I mean, you look on TV. Everywhere you go. I mean, it's restaurants. It's you on social media. They make fun of having a hangover or drinking too much, and a lot of people are very successful by making fun of people who get drunk and fall down and ruin their lives and so forth.
Well, that was fun, right?
Yeah, look at that! Oh my God! And I'm no angel. I'm no angel.
Yeah, but you seem to be able to live inside your skin pretty comfortably.
And I think everybody has demons to fight, and it's funny you mentioned about working out, because that to me, that's my sanity, and that's my my good mood pill, I guess you could say, is working out.
Yeah.
Staying active, being strong. I mean, that mentally has helped me tremendously. I guess, do you ever see yourself ever taking a glass of wine, or do you fight this every day? Do you miss drinking? Do you miss any of it?
I remember you said this. We were at the house over that you sold for me, and baller realtor here, by the way, just so you know. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about.
I appreciate it.
I mean, we could do a whole podcast on that, but and I was going through some stuff, and you asked me like, how do you do that without like a glass of wine? You know what I mean?
Right.
And of course, there are times where I'm like, Jesus, can I just? But here's the thing. Here was the insanity of that. If my life is a million times better not drinking,
right,
why in the world would I put that back and introduce it back into my life? Because here's the thing. I have a spiritual issue. People who have drug and alcohol problems, yes, there's a physical dependency for some people, but for me, it's a spiritual disease.
Can you elaborate?
Think of it as like, I use the analogy of like, I used to say I was a people pleaser. You ever heard people say that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a people pleaser. It's like, no, actually you're a liar, right? Because you're so afraid of what other people are going to think or feel about you that you'll do whatever it takes to kind of control the narrative and control their perception of you, right? But it's all about me. Like, I'm going to tell you this so that you think this, so that you think this about me, and I feel better. Because it's all still about how I feel, because I'm all about trying to make myself feel better every day. So when you add chemicals onto that, you're kind of clouding your perception of other people and yourself. So I'd rather face death and grief, and because those feelings are going to come whether you put something on top of it now or you don't a month from now. They're going to come, so you may as well just deal with it and deal with it in a really healthy way. So no, I hope that I have no reason to ever pick up a drink or a drug.
That takes a lot of strength.
Just for today. Well, just for today. But like,
yeah, but it is a day by day, right? Do you think?
I think so. I remember when I thought to myself, like, why would I ever go to a concert ever again? Who the hell would ever go to a Reds game without drinking? What do you do in your life if you're not drinking? Like, I don't know about you, but for me, I was like, my life is over. Like, where is there fun in the world? And therein lies the problem.
Right.
Is that I could not comprehend what my life would look like if it didn't involve alcohol. Like, how do you have people over if you don't have booze? It actually, believe it or not. And then I thought, well, maybe they all have to be like Mormons or something. There's no way like people don't drink. Like, it's just the fabric of our DNA, right?
There's a lot of
there are normal people
yes.
that actually don't go to dinner and drink a whole bottle of wine.
Right.
There are people that go to games and concerts and don't drink. And it's not because they got a problem with it. They just don't, they're like, I'm good.
Well, that is freaking expensive.
I know. But
I mean, it's like $12 for a freaking beer at the Reds game. Trust me, I don't hardly drink when I go there either, because I'm just too
my
cheap.
inclination is like, well, that's stupid. If you could drink, why in the hell wouldn't you? Therein lies the obvious difference, right?
I gotcha.
And now I'm like, oh my God, I can't even imagine. Like, if you asked me to meet you somewhere on a Saturday at 9:00 in the morning, knowing me back then, do you think that would have ever happened? No, I can't make morning plans. What are you talking about? And now I'm like, sure. What time do you like? I just can show up and suit up and be there. And I don't know. It's a gratitude thing. Like, you're never going to meet an unhappy, grateful person. So. Yeah.
Well, it's, and I know that you were honest with your children about about this.
Yeah.
How did they react to you? I mean, I remember vividly. I lived with you for a while when I was going through my divorce before I could find somewhere.
Yeah.
And I remember things being said from the children, your children, my children as well. How did they react to you when you just said, you know what, I'm clean now. This is no longer part of my life. Did they believe you? Did they? I mean, how did they react?
I don't think I made like a declarative. It was just I had to show them.
Gotcha.
How am I a different person in the absence of chasing? You know, I do remember one time I was with my daughter. I don't remember how long it had been since I had stopped drinking, less than a year. And we were going to a movie, I think, on a Friday night. And she said to me, like, this is so much fun. She's like, I think this is the first time we've been together on a Friday night where I felt like you wanted to be here.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
And I'm like, what? Well, but if you think about it, like, I don't know. For me, it's Friday night. I've worked all week. I have a ton of pressure, a ton of responsibilities. The last thing I want to be doing, I want to be out drinking.
Right.
So, like, I deserve it. You know what I mean? So, I didn't
my gold star for the week.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was obvious that I was wishing. I was always wishing. Here's the thing. This is a better way of saying it. Anywhere I've been in my life, I've always wished I was somewhere else versus exactly where I'm at. So I don't know if anybody else lives that way, but if you're living your whole life wishing that you were somewhere else, you were somebody else, you had something else, then you're chasing something, Right. And I just found relief in the bottle. That's all. But how did I tell them? I didn't really tell them. It's funny because I think they're like, well, you weren't that bad.
Oh, they said that?
Yeah, you weren't that bad. Like,
well,
well, of course, because on the outside everything looks normal, and on the inside things are not normal. And so, if you judge somebody's degree of problems that they have on what they have on the outside, that's probably why we have a lot of people that take their lives and everybody's like, they seem great. Well, it's because you don't live in their head.
Right.
So I think
hence always be kind. You don't know what somebody is going through, right?
Exactly.
Always be kind.
I remember I was in this business meeting. I won't say what company. And they were talking about like non-alcoholic beer. I think it was like, I don't know, Natty, well, no, it was like, I think it was Heineken Zero or something.
There's several out there.
Yeah. And they were like, and they were talking about where it should be on the shelf, you know what I mean, in the store. And they were like, oh, that needs to be near the budget beer, like Busch. And I was like, can I ask why? And they were like, well, clearly if they need to drink non-alcoholic beer, they probably can't afford anything. They were probably drinking Busch Light 30 packs before they had to stop drinking. So you may as well put it next to the beer that they were used to drinking. And I was like, wow. I mean, obviously I'm not saying anything, but I'm like, well, that's an interesting observation.
It is, especially, I mean, it's like, where's your stats for that?
Right.
I mean, you're already prejudging something that you don't know necessarily that might not be true.
Right.
Right?
But there's clearly must be, because when the kids, I'll joke around with them and I'm like, maybe I'll just have a drink. And they're like, both of their eyes like, you better not. So they must see something, you know what I mean, different in me that gives them evidence that mommy on booze is not as good of a person as mommy not on booze. I don't know. Maybe I seem peaceful. I don't know what the hell.
I think, well, I see more patience. I see.
Not hungover today.
Me either.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be here. Well, I would if that meant that we could go to like happy hour afterwards. And then we would be starting our day at, 2 o'clock. Might make it home, might not. Who knows?
Uber's your best friend.
Yeah.
But I see more kindness. Not that you weren't before. I think you have, in my opinion, a very large heart, and you always have.
Oh, thanks.
You are very giving. You literally have given me the shirt off your back in the past by allowing me to stay with you. You've helped me out in many, many ways. What I really do see with you being sober is your honesty. Your opinion has value. Not that I don't want to sound like it didn't before, but I think that
I was feeling so, dude. I had lived my life feeling sorry for myself and in like constant crises.
Well, I think
Yeah.
the line. I mean, I remember some.
Yeah.
I think with me though,
dude, she just called me a liar.
I
legit.
did. I'm sorry. That was 9 years ago. 9 years ago. I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think that I was one of the people that you really could be honest with back then.
Yeah.
That I didn't judge you. That I felt like maybe I was more like, how do I want to put it? I'm on the spot today. It's not about me.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know. I knew your past.
Yeah.
I knew what you had gone through, and I felt like it was a phase. And I don't know if I can. I'm sure I contributed to the problem. I mean, hell, I know I did.
Nah, that would have been somebody else. But you.
I think I know.
You were like the perfect. Like it was the perfect friendship. I'm like, well, here's the thing, like you. It wouldn't have mattered if you're in like anybody else. Like when you go into a bar, you kind of you know who your people are. Like you attract the people that are gonna co-sign your BS, right? And still go along with the ride. And the issue I had with you was I knew that you didn't have my problem.
Yeah.
And I wanted my friends to have the same problem I did so that we could all live this whole happy, different life together. And I knew that I was going to have to, like, find new people who wanted the same thing and not take it so damn personally. I'm like, if I could go drink, I'd hang out with people that could go drink.
Right.
It wasn't your problem to be like, yeah, Lisa, let's spend our Friday night doing puzzles and watching a movie. Why would you?
Well, because I love you and you're my friend.
That sounds like, to me, if I didn't have a drinking problem, that sounds like an awful idea.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that I have many friends that don't drink. You know, I do. And actually,
where'd they come from?
Well, some of them are my family. I know it's the truth. I'll introduce you to them. So
I might make some new friends in this.
I know. I'm telling you. And it's what. Sometimes people drink because they're bored. Sometimes people drink to escape. Sometimes people drink to have fun. Am I guilty of it? Well, hell yeah, I still drink. I mean, I do. But
it works for you.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I've cut back a lot. I mean, do I splurge every now and then? Oh, yeah, I do. It's one of those things that I've learned as I've gotten older and, realizing life's too short, live the moment.
Yeah.
You need to go out and live. And being hungover and drinking too much, you can't live.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't, I mean, maybe some people do, and kudos to you, but hell, I'm 53, going to be 54 in December. I can't drink like I used to do, nor do I want to.
Yeah.
For one, it's too damn expensive. It's expensive to drink. I mean, the way I can't do
more expensive.
I can't do box wine. I can't do it. But my father's favorite saying to myself and my brother and sister was, "Drinking is pissing your money away."
Mm-hmm.
You literally are pissing your money away.
Yeah. Did you know my dad was in recovery before he died?
No,
I didn't either.
How'd you find that out?
Because when I went through his possessions, somebody finally said to me, like, well, yeah, your dad was in recovery for like his whole life, like since you were 2 years old. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, he went to meetings every Tuesday. Like, he's just a private man. You would have never known.
Wow. No.
Who knew?
No. And
he's not even my biological father, and it still happened.
He was a cool dude, though.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude. I didn't get to know him as well, but since all of this has happened, you've did some DNA testing to try to find out your family.
This is hysterical, right?
Yeah. You want to talk about that?
Sure. 23andMe. Man.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow I'll post a post about 23andMe because I'm going to my family reunion on Sunday.
Like your biological family reunion?
Yeah,
oh,
on my
wow.
dad's side. And my brother, my biological half brother, is coming to stay with me tomorrow, actually, or was it Saturday? Anyway, so yeah, here's the crazy part. So I was adopted, closed adoption, you know that. 23andMe, I'll fast forward through it all. Biological mom didn't tell biological dad that she was pregnant, had me in like a Catholic charity, Catholic church, whatever, those women's
homes. Yeah.
And kind of had me, and then just moved on and didn't tell anybody. So her family doesn't know that they have a little half sister running around.
Yikes!
Nobody knows on her side of the family. So when I met her, it was like, oh, like, what do you want? Are you going to blow my life up? And I'm like, I'm good. I just wanted to let you know that thank you, and
Thank
I'm
you
good.
for having me.
And so she tells me, she was like, well, the reason I didn't tell your biological father is because he's an alcoholic. And I didn't want you to become an alcoholic too. And my side of the family has mental illness. And I didn't want you to be around people who were mentally ill.
Okay.
And I just nodded, and I'm like, I understand that. And she's like, did you have a good childhood? And I was like, it was beautiful. It was a great I didn't have the heart to tell her, like, well, sister,
you really want to know what happened to me?
You tried.
Okay,
so biological dad died of alcoholism related issues at like 55. So he died not knowing I existed either.
Wow.
They're all a hot mess over there, man.
So a lot of people feel that, I mean, and there's been studies of mental illness and alcoholism being hereditary.
Sure.
So do you feel that the alcoholism might have been hereditary for you, now finding out about your biological father?
It seems too coincidental, I would say. I think, yes, I do believe that there is a genetic predisposition, for the receptors of your brain to be overly happy when you put some chemicals on it. And so, yeah, unfortunately, I do think it's genetic. It's interesting because my brother, not to try and like tell his narrative, but my half brother, I was like, how come he goes, well, you don't drink? And I was like, nah, man, I just don't mess with it. It's just, I'll end up in Mexico and, kicking it with the cartel or something like that. You just never know. Like, could go well, could not go well. You just don't know.
Right.
Anyway, he was like, I don't drink either. And I was like, why don't you drink? And he was like, well, when I started drinking and I found myself always in the bushes in the front yard in people's houses, and I just said to myself, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself? I just need to quit drinking. Now, I wish some people can do that. Like,
some people
can just be like, well, I need to quit doing that, and they just stop doing it. And I'm like, for me, the insanity is I need to stop doing that, and I won't do that tomorrow, and then you do it again, and you're like, damn it. There's the difference.
Right, yeah.
But clearly him and alcohol didn't go well together
hand in
either.
hand.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think, I think there's very few people in this world that, put it this way, alcohol is there's nothing good about it. There's nothing good. I mean, red wine. Yeah, a glass of red wine maybe once or twice a week is good for your heart, not the whole damn bottle. Yeah, well, that too. You can. But I mean, it's just
try having sex sober for the first time.
Oh, I
like. Can you?
I have.
Can you? Okay, but no, for real. Could you imagine dating somebody completely sober and then having to have sex with them the first time completely sober?
Well, my man's not a big drinker, so it's
maybe he can tell us what that's like.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm more of a morning person, so Lord knows that I think he's kind of figured out.
Oh, so you're not. Well, then yeah, it must. Okay, so
yeah. But I've been with him for 11 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So, what about natural substances?
What?
So, marijuana, mushrooms, that kind of thing. That's becoming very popular with the younger community.
Yeah.
I mean, my children don't. Well, my oldest, she's pregnant, so she's not drinking, of course. But my son and my daughter, they've backed off tremendously off of alcohol, and microdose sometimes, and they might be killing me because I'm talking about them. But I don't know. To me, I don't know. Call me a bad mom, but they're all adults. They're grown ass kids. They're adults.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather them do something like that than drink.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
I'm not trying to condone. I'm not promoting doing something. I just wanted to preface this. I am not promoting people to quit drinking and do
something else.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
So you're asking me like, well, why if alcohol is a problem, what about like a little Mary Jane or something like that?
Stuff like that.
I'm an equal opportunity drug user, which means that again, more is better. So I wouldn't just like. I wouldn't just be like, this would be me. Like,
sorry, that's not funny, but it is.
This would be me like, I'm only going to microdose on Saturdays, the first Saturday of the month. And then I'd be like, well, it's my birthday. And then, well, I got promoted, or well, I got paid. And then it would be, I'd be dosed every day.
Gotcha.
Like,
and so the addictive personality.
More is better.
Right. So do you feel that it's an addictive personality situation, or do you think that it's a masking of, being a survivor of a lot of things throughout your life?
Well, I think that eventually, like initially you can say like, these are all these coping mechanisms that aren't working for me and I need to quit doing them, right? That's stage one of like, you can't, it's not a cop out though. You can't keep using, I hate when people are like, I behave this way because of my trauma. And I'm like, okay, well, let's acknowledge that, but then what are we going to do about it? Like, what are you going to do differently?
Are you going to keep doing it?
Yeah,
or are you gonna,
like that's just a cop out then, right? So I don't like to use that for my current state, but what the hell is your question?
About you couldn't microdose and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because
that is
but it's
just
not
called
because
getting old and fog on the brain, man.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder how much is left up there. But anyway, I would say I wouldn't do it not because I have trauma that's left unresolved. I wouldn't do it because it doesn't serve a purpose in my life anymore.
Makes sense.
Like for what? Like I don't know. Like I live in a land called Never Enough Land. I have my whole life. Like, if I had this, I would be happy. If I had, oopsie, you did it first.
I did.
If only this happens. People like that. Like, there's a lot of people in this world like that. Like, if only this happens, then I'm going to be happy. If I get married, I'll be happy. If I have a boy and not a girl, I'll be happy. If I get paid this much, I'll be happy.
Trying to fill a void.
So it's always constantly trying to like this pursuit of this fake ass like happiness, when in my mind happiness is just peace and like contentment in where your life is, with some hope of like other things to come and some like joy to come. But like I had this false sense of like what happiness was. Maybe it was because I didn't have much growing up, and so I'm like, happy is like cartwheels and joy. And I'm like, for me, happiness is being at peace with my life today. And not
That's
looking
deep,
for
man.
more, like more,
Right.
It's like, can I just be one of those people that like whatever happens in my life, I'm rolling with it and I'm good with it and I'm going to deal with it and I don't need to put anything on it and I don't need to run from it.
Yeah, but how did you train your brain to do that?
Work. A lot of work. I'm not there yet. Like, I still trip on stuff, it's just the difference is like,
how are you going to handle it?
Yeah, how am I going to handle it? Probably should talk to somebody before I
So do you have a sponsor?
Yeah, of course I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You call him, her any time of the day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't I don't have nearly as many look, when I first stopped drinking, I had an issue with I didn't even know my favorite color. I didn't know I know what to do with myself. And so I didn't even know how to make decisions that weren't based on lying, guilt, covering up, what did I do yesterday? Who did I piss off? Who did I fail today? And then what am I going to do about it? That's how I lived for a long time. So then when all of that's gone, I'm like, I don't know what to do with writing a check for the electric bill was overwhelming. Opening the mail was overwhelming, And so
God, Lisa.
I had to use her a lot in the beginning. And now it's more, I check myself because I'm nowhere near healed in any area of my life. But I don't want to talk too much about the program because other people need to figure that out for themselves.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I'm in awe. I seriously admire your courage and your strength. Not many people can do that. I mean,
most people die. Like, that's the problem, is I think that, like, this isn't an issue of, like, willpower. You know, this is an issue of, like,
life or death.
Life. You will end up in an institute. I was in an institute. Remember when they got locked up in the little Looney Tune for that wasn't fair. Like, that was wrong.
Somebody forced you to go.
I was not even there like 2 hours. But anyway, you either end up in a mental institution, which I had already been in my life as a teenager too, or you end up in jail, or you end up dead. Like, it's that simple. Like, that's the path. It may take. I believe people that are abusing drugs and alcohol and have a problem with that are just slowly committing suicide. That's all they're doing. That's it, you know, and that's the end, ultimately.
Right.
So
it's no way to live, for sure.
I could have lived a long, I don't know. I could have kept on running and gunning for a long time, probably. But my consequences were building. Like, you know, when you're like, ooh,
escape. It's like sneaking out when you're a kid, and then you get in your bed right before your parents get up.
Like, that was happening like every day. Like, I can't believe I made it home, or I can't believe I drove with one eye closed, or I can't believe, like, whatever, we didn't get, you know,
Would you say you hit rock bottom? Would you say that was...
I would say, that's an interesting analogy. I would say I hit a point where it was enough for me, because that looks different for different people.
True.
Yeah. I was tired, man. I was tired.
You know, it's the mind is a funny thing. Mm-hmm. This is, what we're talking about, and I'm never at a loss for words, and we all know this. I can talk for hours.
This could be boring people. People might be like, why in the hell are they talking about something so freaking weird?
No, I think that people need to hear it. Yeah. I think that people need to put it this way. Reaching out to somebody, whether it be for substance abuse or somebody's being left out, you know, just emotional strength that they meet. If this podcast can help somebody, I think that it's well worth it.
I'll tell you, I will say this, not to interrupt you, but I remember when I was debating on whether or not I was going to say anything on Facebook. So for years, like, I'd hit my, like, clean date milestone or whatever, and I didn't want to say anything because I was like, oh, I'm in the professional world and people are going to know, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what year it was. Maybe it was like year 5 or something. And I was like, you know what? This little voice was like, you know, you should put it out there. And I don't say I'm a proud member of this recovery platform or anything like that. But, and two things happened. Somebody reached out to me who I used to work with, who I did not know had been battling with alcoholism for quite some time. She called me. She said she had been struggling. She had some time where she hadn't been drinking, but had fell off the wagon, and could I talk to her? And so I remember it was an Easter. I spent some time on the phone with her in the parking lot of Kroger's up on Dixie Highway.
Wow.
Told her that there's always hope, that she can stop. She knows where her help is.
All right. I
died.
have the tissues out for you, man.
She died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But for that one moment,
from substance abuse,
from that one moment, I was able to, like, talk to her and tell her that she has hope and that there is a different way. And she knew there was a different way. She had been exposed to the different way of living too. And then another person had reached out whose child was struggling, and as a parent, they didn't know what to do. And it was really hard because they wanted to get perspective from somebody who, you know what I mean? Like, how do I make them stop? And I was just like, you can't.
They have to want to do it.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't. Like, you're going to have to, like, help, like, they're going to have to reach their end and whatever that looks like. And I can't imagine as a parent having to do that. So now I'm a little more public about it just because maybe it'll help someone else. I'm not embarrassed by it anymore, I guess. It's, you know, it's part of who I am.
I see, like I said before, I see strength. I don't see defeat. I don't see...
It's a gift.
Yeah. I think because, like you said before as well, that most people end up dying and don't have the strength to do what you did.
Yeah.
You know, my sister she's recovered, and so is my brother.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They don't drink. And my brother does drink a Doles every once in a while because
Ain't
you know
nothing
what?
wrong with it. I drink NA beer.
Yeah, and it's for him. And I don't want to speak for him, but if I don't recall this correctly, he will make sure he corrects me. Socially, like he feels socially accepted with having a bottle of beer in his hand.
Yeah. I do.
An adult.
But you know what's funny is I still tell them to pour it in a glass, and I'm like, "What are you trying to be like the cool like?" It's so.
Somebody walking in, and they're like, "Wait a minute! I thought you quit drinking."
Yeah, exactly. I'd almost do it just to be like say something, but I don't know. I am grateful that like now there's mocktails. Like there's like a non-alcoholic wine that I've had that was actually really good. But it's interesting because in my brain is like. But yeah, man, I wish this still gave me a buzz. Like, but it's not like, you know what I mean? But it's like, and there's a subconscious current of like, man, if this was real wine, you know what I mean? I'd feel good right now after that second glass. But then I remind myself that, you wouldn't be stopping right there. Nope. You know, you would feel like a wreck.
So, one thing that I've always wanted to ask somebody that's recovered or in recovery, because I guess you're never recovered. Right. You're always in it, right? Right. What about surgery, or if you have like pain, like something wrong, and you need help with your pain? Yeah. So I mean,
they say not to be. There's a difference in being a martyr. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna get my appendix out, and I'm
not taking any pain meds.
Yeah. So that's where you got to be real honest with somebody, and you better let somebody know. And that's usually where whatever your support network looks like, my recommendation when somebody asks me that and they're in recovery is I'm like, well, you need to like have somebody else monitor and administer, and you better get real right with
your doctor.
Well, that's the other thing. Like my doctor's legit now.
That you're in recovery.
Yeah, because it's a protection. Because it's interesting because how you look almost predetermines your access to drugs.
Interesting.
Right? Like if I went to a doctor and said I've got back pain, they might believe me far more than they would somebody that looks like they've been strung out for 10 years.
Oh, true that.
Yeah.
That's.
Hate to say it, but it's the truth.
It is the truth, and it's sad because it's drugs and alcohol don't care where you come from, what you look like, how much money you have. They don't get it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Nope.
I mean, it's my favorite. I shouldn't say favorite, but it just reminds me about being kind to people that you don't know that might be suffering. And Robin Williams is a perfect example of all of that. Yeah. On the outside, he looked happy. He made us laugh. He had a great career, family that loved him, and he still was so freaking miserable inside.
Yeah. It's a scary, I always say my brain is the scariest place to hang out. I never hang out inside my head too long. I actually got to check it in with somebody. Like, so check this out. This is what was going on in my brain today. And I probably need to like run that by you, because I can create I still can tell myself some stuff that is just not true. I can convince myself that you don't like me. You know what I mean? Or I can convince myself that like, I'm doomed because my job has a lot of pressure and I'm going to fail. And that's all normal stuff that people deal with all the time. The difference is if it gets too out of control, I'm going to lose like the real perspective, and then going to the liquor store might sound like a good idea.
I pray that does not happen. May I ask you, have you relapsed?
When?
During these nights? When? Duh. Hello. Ding, ding.
What? No, ma'am. No, I have over 9 years.
That's awesome.
And it's interesting because people are like, well, first of all, there's like, I don't believe you. And then the second part is like, well, I don't need you to believe me. I have to live in my own skin. But
it's your battle to fight. Yeah. It's not somebody.
I don't care if you have 2 days or 200 days or 2,000 years, good for you. But no, I haven't. The day that I decided I needed some help, and I finally just kind of like threw my hands up, like whatever I'm doing isn't working. help me, and you see a group of people that love you, whether you're white, black, poor, rich, what kind of car you came in. They don't care what your gutter story is. Nobody's going to sit there and say yours wasn't bad enough. At least you weren't shooting, whatever.
Right.
When they said, we got you and we love you, and, just sit with us and we'll just hang with you for a minute. There was a sense of relief and peace that I hadn't had in so long, where I didn't have to be anybody. I didn't have to look a certain way. I didn't have to have a bad enough problem to deserve help. Like, it was just like, welcome. How can we help you today? And ever since then, I was just like, I'm good, man. I have no reason to go back. No,
That's awesome.
I've gone through some shit.
I know you have.
Since then, but like, if I can sit in hospice 30 days and 30 nights with my mom and not pick up a bottle, then I can go through anything.
Wow.
So.
Well, my friend, thank you.
You're welcome.
I know you're one busy lady, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for coming. I mean, I've got chills. I do.
It's so weird. Like, I've never talked about this.
My hair is changed.
I never talk about this with like normal people. Because I don't know how,
okay, you know me.
Like,
I'm
like,
not
do you
normal.
guys think I'm like weird as shit? Like, when you're talking to other people like you, they're like, yeah, of course. Like, I got you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, when you're trying to explain it to somebody who like doesn't, like, I don't know.
Well, it's. I remember asking you lots of questions. I remember asking you because I don't know what it's like to struggle day to day.
Yeah.
I mean, with substance abuse.
Yeah.
Some people might disagree.
Self-hatred.
Glenn, I just saw you. Yeah, you did. But anyways, and remember me asking you, like, I mean these questions out of love. I don't mean them to sound or make you feel bad about yourself or I'm ignorant when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah. It's just like I'm ignorant when it comes to anything doing with the medical field. My brain doesn't work with science.
Yeah.
It just doesn't do it. So,
I would say like my malady, if you want to call it that, is the biggest gift, because there's a lot of like worse things in the world to have, and to like not be able to drink successfully without wrecking myself is, if that's the only problem I have and the solution is so beautiful and it changes the way you think about the world and yourself, and I kick it with my God and we chill, and you know what I mean? There's a power in that that's like, do not worry, I'm not going to start like quoting scriptures or anything like that.
You're going to kumbaya us.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but like there's strength, and like I'm not in this alone. I actually have zero control over what happens in my life around me, but I am pretty confident that I can get through anything.
I think you can.
Yeah.
I think you've proven that.
Mess with my kids, that might be another one.
Well, likewise. Even if
you might have to lock me up for that one.
True that.
I might not drink, or it just might be homicide or something.
I've always said that, and my kids are like, you know what, Mom? I'm going to be there, and I'm like, I don't care.
Okay.
You know what? You mess with Mama Bear, and you mess with Mama Bear's babies, my cubs, I'm coming after you. Guaranteed. Doesn't matter.
I'm like, I don't think drinking is the issue on that one.
No.
It'll be like, I'm coming for you.
That's just a motherly instinct that's any mother, well, most mothers, I should say, not any mother, but most mothers have that.
Yeah.
And I think that was just embedded in us, and, to protect our children, right? So, but we could go on and on. We might have to do a part 2, maybe. I don't know.
We'll talk about something else.
Yes, ma'am. Well, again, from the bottom of my heart, I greatly appreciate you taking the time out and talking about this. I mean, we didn't need the tissues. I came close, man. I came close when you were talking about your friend at Kroger's. I'm like,
I'm surprisingly like not emotional about this today.
Because you know what? Because I don't
even think about it.
I'm sensing peace.
Yeah, I just don't even think about it. And I'm like, oh, that's right. I don't drink. It's kind of like I just don't even think about it.
So let me ask you. I know we're
way over time,
but it's okay. Because this is...
I can fast forward, I guess.
This is what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Don't want to hear it, then don't listen to it.
Yeah.
But so obviously you have friends that drink.
Right.
So when you go out with friends that do drink, and do they drink around you? Are you okay with them drinking around you?
Of course. It doesn't bother me. I think I think when people start acting like stupid and like, you know, when people
Like,
drink and
put it
they're
over-
like,
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh my God, that was me. Where they like repeat the same story. Or like, you remember I was always the one that was crying about everything and like uber emotional. Or then you just see the person, once the personalities start changing and then they like, when they start talking to you, they
It's
get
right in your face.
Yeah. I'm like, bro. So then I'm usually like, all right, I'm cool now. It's time to bounce. But it's not from an area of judgment or like envy. It's just like, you know, there reaches the level where the human interaction is really alcohol interacting with alcohol and
Right.
it's fun as hell for them. But like, if you're not in that same wavelength, it becomes like, So yeah, people drink. Well, I mean, my wedding had open bar.
That was a hell of a wedding. I wasn't there, but I saw pictures. It was beautiful. Expensive. Yeah, well,
My 1 year
it's-
is tomorrow.
Well, happy
Yeah,
anniversary.
well, thank you.
Happy
Thank
anniversary.
you. Yeah.
Well, I will say this. I'm glad you're back in Kentucky.
know.
I'm glad you're back in my life.
You too.
Well, I hope you're glad
Yeah.
that I'm back. I don't know. You might talk differently. I don't know.
Hey man, I'm always good with friends, you know, like doing shit with people. Like, not that I always have a ton of time, but yeah.
You know, you work a lot.
I do.
And I admire you for that too. Your work ethic has always been.
By the skin of my chinny chin chin, girl.
Well, it's obvious
I'm far
that you,
more productive now. I
you
actually
work your ass off. There's no doubt about it.
the full clear head.
Well,
I don't know how I did it for all
it's-
those years, let me tell you.
it's, some people get to that realization that, like I was saying before, you can't live you can't live your life hungover.
Right. I use this analogy and I'll end with this. Like, you know how when you're walking a tightrope, you know, I was walking a tightrope for like 20 years, legitimately, like knowing that if I took one step to the right or one to the left, like everything was going to fall apart. And when you're clenching your ass cheeks that hard, living life every day, like when is the other shoe going to drop? That's really exhausting. That's all it was. And I was like, okay, I'm really tired. I'm done with it.
That and you're constipated too if you're clenching your ass cheeks.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
look really aged and strained. That's where the wrinkles came in. We're like, fuck. Oh, oopsie. Oh. Like I'm busted here. That's how I lived my life. Anyway,
Well,
thanks for the time.
I'm happy for you. And you know what? Until next time.
Yeah.
All
Next
right.
time.
Next time. All
Bye.
right. We'll see you.
See you.